Hello and welcome. I am Lian Buon and you're watching Rappler Talk. If his indictments are to be believed, and to the eyes of President Rodrigo Duterte, former senator and key opposition figure Antonio Trillanes IV is the most seditious man in the country. But he's unfazed and says he will not stop. Dissent, he says, is essential, even when it's dangerous. Good day, sir. Hello po. Thank you for coming here.
Well, hi, Lian.
Sir, right off the bat, I just wanted to ask, kasi ito yung gusto kong tanungin sa'yo kahapon sa korte. You were jailed under Gloria Arroyo, and this is what's happening to you now under the Duterte administration. Which is worse para sa'yo?
Well, in terms of the environment of the fight, mas mahirap nung panahon ni Gloria kasi nakakulong ako. My hands are tied and we don't have access to media. So, medyo mas challenging. Now, I can go to the public directly and say my piece. Although it's still difficult because you have a president who is really vindictive and oppressive. But I can find my way.
You said the word oppressive. Which for you po is more oppressive of this? Which administration is more oppressive of dissent, more intolerant of dissent?
Definitely this one, because this government kills people. You can say a lot of things about the Arroyo administration, that it's corrupt and so on and so forth, but they never had a policy of killing innocent civilians. So that's the big difference. And this one, to top it all, is not only a murderous regime, but it steals billions as well. Or as much as the Arroyo administration.
Sir, the kinds of, yung mga ganyang sinasabi niya, yan lagi yung nakikitang basis ng mga allies ng Duterte administration in trying to charge you of sedition. And in fact, you have, in my count, sir, kasi sabi mo kahapon 19, pero kung nung binawas ko yung mga hindi Duterte administration, you have 14 under this administration. Did you expect this going into 2016 na, alam ko na mangyayari, kakasuhan ako?
Hindi naman. Definitely not. You wish the best of any incoming administration, but when it was apparent that this is not the administration or not the presidency that he promised to be, then it's time to speak up. And that's what we did. And all of these things, of course, is part of the territory. By the way, let me just correct that. Based on my last count, it's 15 in all.
In this administration?
In this administration. Because would you believe that they actually filed a case against me with the ombudsman for selling off Scarborough based on this fake news that this...
yung treason na...
Yeah, this the pro-Duterte people keep on spreading. So they actually filed it. And it was dismissed by the ombudsman.
Which ombudsman po?
By this ombudsman, because...
Ombudsman Samuel Martires or Carpio Morales?
I wouldn't know, but they can... in fact, they did file a motion for reconsideration for it. And they have every opportunity, they have access to information to pursue that. But they can't because precisely it is not true. But they just keep on spreading that lie, and for some people, they just easily swallow a lie.
So yun nga, ang daming kinakaso sa'yo and you've been in jail before. Do you have a parang consciousness to be careful of what you say para hindi magamit na ammunition sa'yo? Parang meron ka bang sinasabi na, baka this might be basis for a criminal charge or ganun?
I would like to believe that I'm already very careful because my lawyer, Attorney Robles, keeps on reminding me about which can be libelous or not. But if you would look at the substance of all the charges against me, then you'd see na walang laman talaga. And they'll just try to file it just the same to harass me. I'll cite this particular case of kidnapping. Hindi ko na kilala o na-meet itong nag-accuse sa akin, but she can come up with a lie with a straight face na ako yung nag-kidnap sa kanya at ilang beses kami nag-meet. So, what's your defense sa ganon.
And you have presented, sir, a certification from the Bureau of Immigration. Tama ba
Yeah.
that you were outside the country on the day that she said she
Yeah.
met you?
Yeah.
But
Among other things, kumbaga, she can't even pinpoint kung saan yung sinasabi niyang kumbento na she was held against her will. So, talagang, nagsisinungaling. So, ano pang defense doon?
But sir, this was the same criticism against Peter Jomel Advincola alias Bicoy na
Yeah.
maraming nakita talagang inconsistencies even with the details involving you, yet you have been charged of conspiracy to commit sedition. So, are you fearful na isa-charge ka ng kidnapping ng DOJ?
Okay. Again, I go back to my earlier point that in such situations, I always assume the worst case scenario para hindi ka magulat o hindi ka ma-frustrate. So of course, you pray that these things will not happen, but sometimes it does.
Sir, would you consider yourself the extreme type of dissenter now? Or do you think people in the, not only political opposition, but those who support human rights and rule of law, could do more also, similar to what you're doing?
I would like to believe that I'm just at par with the rest. There's nothing extra spicy about how I express my dissent. Siguro, according to those who don't like me, medyo maangas lang yung dating, kaya siguro napag-iinitan. But for example, the Vice President, if you would just read her words, it's just as strong, or in fact, even stronger than my own words. But she says it with the grace of a Filipina woman.
So do you consider changing your style para hindi ka na mapag-initan?
I don't think magiging authentic siya if I do, di ba? So hindi natural.
Sir, let's go to this conspiracy to commit sedition. Dalawang pare yung kasamang na-charge sa'yo,
Yeah.
Father Albert Alejo and Father Flaviano Villanueva. Have you talked to them since you were charged?
Yes.
Kamusta sila, sir?
Siyempre, I would like to believe that they are emotionally strong and they can handle this. But it's just unfortunate na, alam nyo, yung kaparian, nire-revere yan dito sa bansa natin. But this administration doesn't have any respect for that. They will go for it para lang maging mag-send ng chilling message to the people of the cloth na don't mess around kasi kakasuhan namin kayo. So ganun yan. But in fact, even in the legally, tignan mo yung credibility. You have a Bicoy on one hand na we submitted videos na of this person voluntarily telling his story. Una, walang script, walang nagko-quote sa kanya. Then, on the other side, you will charge this priest na, magpaplano ng sedition. Anyway, that's the kind of regime we're living in.
Father Alejo is also respondent dun sa kidnapping complaint. Napag-uusapan nyo rin ba yan? Kasi I'm sure you're prepared for, sabi mo nga sir, you're prepared for a worst case scenario. How about him? Is he prepared for a worst case scenario?
Well, I believe pag dumating yung panahon na yun, he would be and he should be, but again, it's unfortunate na may nadadamay pa na iba na para lang gawing sample, gagawin nila. And that's the height of injustice, Ginawa yung justice system natin precisely to administer justice. Huliin mo yung mga, parusahan mo yung mga guilty, pero spare mo yung mga innocent. But ito hindi. Talagang they weaponized the law. And in fact, we have this forum on Friday.
It's lawfare.
Lawfare, which would precisely talk about that, how the law was weaponized against critics, the opposition, and the media.
Parang warfare, pero lawfare ang ginawa. Sir, puntahan ko lang si Bicoy. Do you remember the day you first met him? And anong tingin mo sa kanya? And sinabi mo nga, sir, paulit-ulit na, I vetted him just like you vetted everybody else. How did he not pass your vetting? Ano yung mga red flags sa'yo?
Okay. One time, kasi ano siya, no? He says, very smart siya, no? May IQ siya, no? To his credit. Pero kasi, pagka gumagawa ka ng story, mahuli ka. So, I asked him one time to provide me with a sketch of the Misibis area, which he claims to have worked for as a CCTV operator.
Ito yung underground room, no, sir, na
Yes.
sinasabi
Oh,
niya.
so, if you're working as a CCTV operator, then gamay na gamay mo yan, yung every corner of that area. So I asked him to sketch that area. He could not do it. The basic sketch, he could not. So sa akin, that's a red flag. Kaya hindi ko siya present. But I would have to admit, certain parts of the information he shared, may probability na totoo. So we were in that process of validating that part of the information. Pero hindi talagang siya pwedeng maging messenger. Ako ang tingin ko kay Bicoy, ano siya, pinagpasahan siya ng information. He was presenting himself as somebody who was part of a syndicate. But then, nung hindi niya na-sketch, I believe, hindi niya to nakita. But I believe, napagpasahan siya ng information. So sa akin, mas importante yung information than Bicoy. Kaya hindi ko siya present sa Senado. Kasi I believe, na pag nilabas yan dyan, at in-scrutinize siya ng mga senador, hindi papasa yan.
Sir, sinabi mo ba sa kanya yan na that this is what I think of you?
Yeah.
How did he react, sir?
Madrama yan eh. So, nagdadabog siya, ganun. Well, hindi ka pumasa eh. So, yun nga. And yet, he insisted eh. Nag-i-insist siya na maglumabas. Wala na akong control dyan. In fact, yung video na yan, when it was, I'm also out of the country, noong mga panahon na yan. Pero, ang bottom line dito is, kanino galing yung information na yan? Sa kanya yan. He was presenting it now as if I was the one who fed him all of that. Tapos siya yung talking head. Pero why would I pick him? Di ba? Of all people in the country, why would I pick him? And again, I stand by my track record. When was a time that I concocted an allegation against anybody? So lahat ng inilabas ko, lahat ng inallege ko against my previous political opponents turned out to be true. All of them were validated publicly. So hindi pa ako nasusunog about any allegation. Tapos ito, magsasabi siya na itong mga allegations niya. So malabo yan.
Must be frustrating for you, sir. Kasi sabi mo nga kahapon, sino ba yan? Bakit namin siya nagamitin? Do you look back and say, sana hindi ko na lang kinausap?
Hindi naman. Kasi, again, it's part of the territory as a member of the political opposition. If somebody is presenting something, then you have to listen. Then you will have all the opportunity to vet. If he checks out, then you present him in the Senate, which was the proper forum. That was my only course to present the truth. So that's what we do. And it's not only Bicoy. There are so many other witnesses who tried to present themselves as witnesses, but they just failed the vetting process, or the information was not enough to merit an expose publicly.
Sir, pag nagbe-vet ba kayo nung mga lumalapit nga sa inyo, you do it personally talaga, or do you think going forward dapat meron muna kayong first team, second team bago ka ma-implicate?
Merong ganon. May steps kami bago sa akin. Okay. But then, again, I'll go back to Mina.
This is Guillermina Barrido.
Guillermina Barrido. Hindi ko nga siya na-meet eh. And yet, here she comes saying all sorts of things.
But you heard of her that this person wants
Yes,
to offer
yes.
information.
But then when I scanned the affidavit, sabi ko malabo ito. That's it. So ngayon, nung hindi siya nakuha, yun na, nagmamaktol. Then, magpapaligaw sa kabilang side. So that's what happened here.
Sir, you said nga may mga information si Bicoy na you thought at the time had probability. Are you still continuing to investigate those bits of information?
Yes, and hindi kasi mawawala yun dahil may money trail eh. So madaling ma-check yun. At some point in the future, lalo na pag wala na sila sa pwesto.
Sir, can you tell us kung ano yung bits and pieces sa information niya na tinitignan niyo pa rin hanggang ngayon?
Yung sa bangko, yung mga bank records. And in fact, it's now public record because I included it as part of my my privilege speech which I submitted in the Senate. So public record na yun, hindi na mawawala yun.
So the premise is there's drug money that went to around the trail. At yun yung hinahanap niyo pa rin.
And then I go back to the original BPI bank accounts that I presented during the campaign. I am suspecting now that the money is drug money. The money that came in the BPI bank accounts of Mr. Duterte is drug money.
Sir, let's talk about AMLAC. Kasi nung terminate ng Office of the Ombudsman without prejudice yung investigation sa wealth ng First Family, they said it's because AMLAC was not participating. And now, yung sinabi ni yung ICAD report ni VP Robredo, sinasabi niya dapat palakasin ng AMLAC kasi sila naman ang makakita nitong money trail. What do you think of AMLAC in this administration? Could they do more?
Well, the AMLAC in this administration is being used as a tool to block or block any form of transparency, to cover up the money trail of the Dutertes. But again, there's a remedy to that. Once Duterte is out of office, we will have a new AMLAC. Then we can see all of this information still because it cannot be erased. Too bad for Mr. Duterte, it cannot be erased. So, in fact, a lot of bank officials who handle this account know about this information.
Sir, the remedy seems to be wait for 2022.
Yeah.
So, in 2 years and a half, ano yung gagawin niyo pa?
Well, marami. No? We've been getting all sorts of information. And basta only time will tell kung kailan lalabas yan. But ngayon, lumalakas ng loob ng mga tao. They're sharing what they know. And hindi lang sa akin. In fact, they're going to the media and international organizations. So, ang dami nilang kalokohan eh. Kaya hindi nila matago na.
Sir, let's talk about Jude Sabio. So, he wrote on his column that you had a misunderstanding. Tapos, cordial naman kayo nung nakita namin kayo sa DOJ in that kidnapping hearing. And he told the media that kinamayan mo daw siya at sinabi mong, mag-usap tayo kapag humupa na ang sitwasyon. Did you get to talk from that point until he retracted his affidavit?
Not anymore. Kasi nakita ko naman si Attorney Sabio. Vulnerable siya on the financial front. And I cannot provide for that anymore nung natapos na yung term ko. So, it was just unfortunate. But ganun talaga yung buhay. Merong mga may hina yung loob. Kasi itong laban na to, talagang all the way ito eh. Bakbakan ito. So, if mahina yung loob mo, talagang susuko ka. And that's exactly what happened.
Sir, it's very clear to us naman that his retraction does not in any way affect the communication sa ICC. That's been made clear. But he did publicize the affidavit that says he had been used by the opposition. Do you think he's onto something or they're onto something, that this is just a groundwork for a forthcoming another case, kung ano man?
Sa akin, irrelevant na yun. Kung ano man yung gagawin niya, for as long as it doesn't affect the ICC and we have been assured na hindi makaka-apekto yung ginawa niya sa ICC, then okay lang. Ganito kasi, no? I think even Attorney Sabio misunderstood the whole ICC process. it's not the same as the Philippine justice system that would require lawyers to represent complainants, etc. No, the ICC is basically a people's court wherein an ordinary man on the street, a farmer, can write a handwritten information, which they call communication. And it would be treated with the same importance as a resolution from the UN.
Yeah.
So ganun yung sistema. And once it's already submitted, it cannot be undone. For example, if I tell you an information now and you're able to hear it, kahit na babawiin ko yun, narinig mo na, hindi mo na pwedeng burahin sa memory mo. So, ganun yung sistema. And so, he was the one who filed first, and I admit, we had a hand in the preparation of that communication. Then, nag-file kami na impeachment through Congressman Gary Alejano, and it was railroaded, and the railroading itself was part of our submission when we submitted a communication sometime in June or late May of 2017. So, first si Sabio, second kami. Then yung mga iba nagsubmit sila after the preliminary examination was announced. So the basis of the initiation of the preliminary examination were the two submissions, the two communications filed by Sabio and yung communication namin ni Congressman Alejano.
Sir, are you periodically updated by the ICC, or do you, if nag-inquire kayo, sinasabihan ba kayo ng nasa stage na? Because their last report said a determination would come out in 2020. Do we know how soon in 2020?
Well, I will tell you off the record, what we know, But suffice to say that part ng policy ng ICC is to update those who submitted the communication.
So, sir, we know, it's very clear to us that the ICC case is intact. It's just there. But maybe did you think that yung retraction ni Sabio is like a publicity war na sisiraan din kayo on the media front, perception, and how will you address that, or do you think it's worth addressing pa at this point?
It's not worth addressing na kasi hindi naman makaka-apekto nga, And totoo yan, In fact, they sent people sa Hague to precisely demonize kami ni Congressman Alejano and yung communication namin. Parang nagsasabotahe. But again, yung ICC, these are professionals Hindi madadala sa mga ganyan, mga propaganda, mga gimmick. They will do their own spade work and make conclusions based on that research.
Sir, do you think the ICC case presents a real threat to President Duterte?
Definitely. Kaya nangangatog ang tuhod niya ni Duterte dahil dyan. Napaparaning na yan. And you were telling me 2 years,
2 years and a half pa.
No, it's
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So, ang lapit na nun. And every day, we're chipping away from those 2 years. And Duterte knows that. So, each day that passes is a day closer to the day that he will be out of power.
But how the ICC will work is that our government must participate to turn him over in case he's ordered arrested. Do you think that's gonna be possible?
Well, it's up to the security forces in the country whether they will fulfill their constitutional mandate, because remember, the international law is part of our constitution. It is going to be recognized. So our commitments in the international treaties should be upheld as well.
Sir, kanina you were in ANC and you said you had been offered but you turned down offers of political asylum. Bakit po, and could you tell us sinong nag-offer ng asylum?
Well, hindi ko masabi yan, pero siya, it was a genuine offer, and I believe alam nila yung nangyari dito sa ating bansa. So, they would want people to do the fighting in a safe and secure environment. So, that was...
Were the offers made recently, sir, nung na-charge ka ng conspiracy to commit sedition or dati pa?
Dati pa kasi dami ko ng kaso before eh. And dati talagang I've been a target of verbal assaults of Mr. Duterte.
So sir, why not take the asylum? Kasi sabi mo nga, nahirapan ka nung Gloria kasi nakakulong ka. So para maiwasan ang pagkakulong, why not take the asylum?
Ang feeling ko kasi, parang abandonment yun eh. Andito yung laban eh. So, we have to be here. And there are other people fighting along with me. And hindi naman sila fortunate enough to be offered such an asylum. So, hindi rin maganda yun.
And you said in the interview kanina, sir, that you also feel that you are winning. We are winning, Simon, sir. What is your gauge that we are winning? It's very palpable in the environment. You can, I've been a witness to this thing since day one, how Duterte rose into power, how he won, and immediately after he assumed office, he had this almost godlike personality, He was able to form this cult following early on. So that's the environment that I saw. Ngayon, wala na yon. Wala nang tatayo sa kanya at magdedepensa at magrarally dyan. Wala na. Nilalangaw na eh. Magpatawag sila ng rally, nilalangaw na dito. Sir, but the last surveys yung nung Christmas, mataas pa rin ang popularity and trust ratings ng President.
Ako, again, yung SWS and Pulse Asia, time and again, hindi ko binibigyan ng credence yan. Kasi noong 2007, they said, hindi ako mananalo. I was number 20 sa Pulse Asia in their last survey before, just a few days before elections. And number 16 naman ako sa SWS. So bakit ko sila paniniwalaan? And when they missed me the first time. Tapos, noong 2004, nagkamali na rin yan sila. Yung kay Gloria, at saka kay FPJ. And they admitted, they apologized for that. So, hindi yan, it's not a biblical truth. So yan minsan kasi ang media, they just swallow what SWS and Pulse Asia would churn out. But then, just think about this. Duterte's fate, or the fate of his regime, rests on the perceived political popularity. Okay? Now, for a murderous regime who can kill thousands of Filipinos, would it be out of character for them to tinker with the surveys?
So you think they're also manipulating the surveys?
Well, I'm not saying that, but the results would show, imposible naman, 99% siya sa Mindanao. Hindi pwede yun. That's statistically improbable. And yet, you look at Bongo's numbers, ilan? He only got around 45% of the vote. Di ba? Or kahit sabihin mo ng 50%. So, hindi totoo yan. And it's either that, or may mali sila sa sample design nila, sa research design nila, or probably there are non-sampling errors, or the fear factor is kicking in. Ang daming factors to doubt that survey. Now, sa akin naman, we validate it through our own internal surveys, which we have been using, and his numbers are going down. It's still relatively high, but from the low 90s where he came from, he's down to the high 30s. So yan ang numbers na nakikita namin.
So sir, numbers aside, what are your plans for 2022? Are you gonna run?
The group, our group, the Magdalos, have just decided to field me again, but it's still open. The re-election is an option, but personally, I am inclined to just go full-time in supporting a presidential candidate, in this case, Vice President Leni Robredo.
So, VP, takbo ka ulit VP, sir. Is that in your mind?
No, not anymore. I believe the public has made a judgment already on that, so that's not on the table.
So, sir, the highest position that you're considering or is on the table is senator, election for senator.
Yeah, that's the option, but not necessarily my preference.
So, no president, hindi ka rin tatakbo for president?
No. The opposition has solidified and unified under Vice President Leni Robredo.
Okay. Sir, can we go to the VFA dahil nandito ka na lang din naman. You said kahapon sa court that you do not believe that it's because the president was pissed with the cancellation of the visa of Senator Bato de la Rosa and you said this is actually part of his pivot to China. Ano yung reaction ng mga sundalo ng AFP based on your sources and contacts? Do they like this move?
Those directly involved in the exercises with the US, talagang frustrated sila. And nakita nila napaka-petty and whimsical yung ginawa na decision. And in addition to the pivot to China, I believe Duterte's act of using the visa cancellation of Senator Bato is to use it as a symbol na he is protecting his people. Na yung mga pinangakuan niya na, sige, pumatay kayo, sagutin ko kayo. Ito na yon, kinancel pa lang na visa, hindi niya na ma-proteksyonan. So, he's doing a mind game na ang audience niya yung kanyang minions na pumapatay. But
so it's a message to his people,
yes,
not necessarily to the US?
Hindi, in addition. Kasi yung pivot to China niya, parang maliwanag na yon. So in this particular case, nagpapaligaw pa noong una it doesn't work that way So, tinuluyan niya na dahil napasubo na siya. But I believe that is a very big mistake and palagay ko, nare-realize niya na yon.
But do you know, sir, if there's any sentiment within the military that doesn't necessarily want to terminate the VFA but think it can be improved, it can be fine-tuned?
Of course, there is that. There is no perfect agreement or treaty. But kung titignan mo yung VFA, if you look at the half-full perspective, mas marami tayong benepisyo dyan than sa kanila. Okay? Sa kanila, it's very important because we are strategically located. So, losing this spot in the world would be an adjustment and a challenge for them, but they can find alternatives. Now, so titignan mo, marami tayong nakukuha. And we have been optimizing that.
So do you think this could be the discontent that would prompt a pushback from the military administration?
The fact na hindi niya na nahihila dun sa mga kalokohan niya, yung AFP.
What happened to you rin, sir, di ba?
Yeah. Kaya hindi niya nahihila sa mga illegal niyang orders is precisely professional na yung AFP Hindi niya to madadala na kung saan niya gusto dalhin.
So sir, tingin mo ito the issue of the VFA is that big na magkakaroon na ng talagang palpable pushback or more felt pushback from the military? Because yung new AFP chief, si General Santos, sinabi niya sa confirmation hearing niya na they're very satisfied kasi tinaas yung sweldo, so wala naman silang hihilingin pa.
Well, there won't be any pushback. Kasi part of that professionalism is to accept the orders of your superiors, because there is a presumption of regularity. The termination of the VFA is a foreign policy issue, which is beyond the ordinary soldier. So the soldier might feel frustrated initially, personally, but then he would continue to do his job. So that's the kind of professionalism that we need, and that's the kind of professionalism that we have, fortunately.
So you don't necessarily want to see somebody pulling off a Sonny Trillanes?
No, definitely not. I believe it's okay for us, the Filipinos, it's in the interest of the Filipino that they will not intervene. So, but it goes both ways. So it also means that Duterte cannot use them to install, let's say, a revolutionary government or to order the AFP to shut down Rappler or ABS-CBN. It cannot be done. And I believe there has been pushbacks privately in that regard.
So sir, naniniwala kang hindi tayo makakarating sa martial law level na yung mga sundalo yung nag-i-implement ng mga policies that were later were later called out as illegal?
If the issue is martial law nationwide, it's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
For as long as there is a valid reason to do that, they would follow. But if he crosses the line, let's say by ordering the AFP to shut down the Senate or the Supreme Court, then we should expect the AFP not to follow Mr. Duterte. And Duterte knows that.
Okay, so sir, last question, 2 years. Is it a long time for you, a short time for you? Are you excited? Are you scared? Anong nararamdaman?
I'm actually both excited and a bit concerned. Excited because 2 years ang bilis niyan. Ang bilis ng takbo ng metro niyan. Now, concerned because I know how paranoid and desperate Duterte is right now. He fears accountability more than anything else. So he might just do something more stupid than those acts that he has been doing the past 2 months. You know? So yun ang something that we should worry about.
So with that said, what's your message to the opposition, members of the opposition, and to the Filipino people? What do they need to do?
Well, the opposition, we should just stay the course. We should continue to be united. We should continue to expand our ranks. And as for the Filipino people, be assured that whatever it is that the opposition is doing, it is for their best interest.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was former Senator Antonio Trillanes. Thank you for watching Rappler Talk.